Howdy, howdy, welcome back to episode 41 of the Seablock Journey. I realized that I messed up the episode numbers once again, so we should be back on track now with this being episode 41. Between episodes, did what could be quantified as a very large amount of research, so I'm just now finishing up all the things that we can do with purple research that are actually necessary. Yeah, we have lots of stuff now, which will be nice. And yeah, without further ado, we can get into making some of the things. So, a large majority of this episode is going to be spent setting up our bot mall. And yeah, so we do have all the way up to tier 3 modules. We have a bunch of new stuff. We have a new level of circuits. These are really difficult. And the reason for that is because even after we do all of the researches in the game, there's still a mixed ore sorting recipe. And that really pisses me off. It really sucks that there's not a way to, get everything in a pure ore sorting. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we go here and we look at chrome, as you can see, you can only get it from this ferrous crystal. And guess what? You get all this other junk with it. This recipe doesn't exist. Speaking of which, platinum is the not the same thing. What am I thinking of? Actually, I thought it was platinum. Okay, so apparently platinum has its own, but chrome is the one where you can only get it from this mixed ore sorting. And guess what? You need it for this. You know what this doesn't require? The other things that you get from mixed ore sorting. So, if we look here at our chrome, right, we're not having a use for the cobalt or the nickel, I believe, or maybe the nickel, but definitely not the cobalt in our circuit recipe. So what that means is we're going to end up, no matter what, with a bunch of circuits left over. Good news is we did get more efficient smelting for a bunch of stuff, but yeah. Essentially, the only saving grace is that any time that we use one of those black circuits, it's almost certainly going to be in a machine that requires cobalt at some point of the production chain. There's only probably a couple of things that doesn't apply to. So yeah, we got a bunch of different stuff in here. Most of this stuff is probably never going to get used, but it was prerequisites for other stuff. Big thing is we did get blasting charges. And what these are the way to remove landfill. So if we ever need a large source of water, instead of placing down a bunch of those tiny ground bores, we can instead just bust a hole into the ground and put a big pump. We also got stuff to be able to do the higher level circuits, or not circuits, sorry, higher level, oh my gosh, words, modules, that's what I was going for, modules. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just make a bunch of requester chests. So, see, steel is all the way over here, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay. So that would be enough to do 100 of these. Oh no, that's enough to do 200. So let's get the rest of that stuff. So we need 200 red circuits. Okay, and then we need 600 green circuits. And there we go, we have 200 requester chests. If that's not enough, I don't know what will be. But essentially, we're going to be making this thing that we made down here, but with requester chests now. So hopefully it should be a lot more easy to construct, and we have less time waiting between things. Really now our only bottleneck is going to be the speed at which we produce things. Luckily, while we were doing all that research, I stockpiled tons of stuff. So that should be nice for us. There we go. Okay. I don't see why we shouldn't do it down here. So, yeah, let's get started. First things first, I guess we can just get started with basics. So, yeah. Actually, first things first, what I want to get started with is making... what's it called? I think, oh my gosh, my words are really not with me today. I want to make all the basic stuff that we have going. Speaking of which, I also think that I'm going to have to add storage chests for charcoal. Now that I'm thinking about it. And the reason for that is, actually there's quite a few things that we're going to need to add passive providers for. So I might just go through and do all of those now. Okay, so let's see. Let's go over here. So carbon and charcoal are both going to get added to these. I don't know if they're actually going to need to get used, but we'll have them in there. So that's definitely one thing we need to get added. Another thing we're going to need to add is going to be down here. Clearly not there. Where is this thing that I'm looking for? Could have sworn I knew what I was looking for. Came down here with it in mind. Yes, I remember now. Okay. So I need to find a tree farm. Ah, here's a tree farm. Okay, perfect. So we have this guy going, and then what I want to add is red splitter here. Output priority is left, but any extra we'll be able to put into a chest here. Okay, then we can get this guy into a requester chest like that. Alright, there we go. So it'll only take what we're actually not using. So there we go. So now it'll always prioritize this, and we know that this is enough to make that, so I'm not worried about it, and we're making that, which is good. And the reason that we are making that is because if you remember in here, farms require soil. And actually, I do remember there is a compelling reason to not detach the logistics of the last base. And the reason for that is we are producing plant life samples over here. So because we're doing that, I think I put those in a requester chest. So we should be able to request those. Okay. Sorry for the tangent. We can now, I think, go back to making things on the area over here. Alright, so yeah, we have inserter here. I think the most logical thing for me to do is just start on this first page, and everything we want to make, we're going to make. Let's do all of the power poles. Let's see, can we even make the tier 2? We can make the tier 2. We can't make the tier 3. So that means that I think I'm going to try to make everything based around the tier 2. Because we don't have rubber being made yet. So that is something we'll eventually have to do, is get rubber being made. But until then, we can at least go up to tier 2 on all of these. So yeah, let's get started with that. Alright, let's get requester chests going. So requester chest. And then only this guy needs a provider, because we don't really care about getting that for this. So let's see. Okay, so now another thing we need to consider is this guy will need iron rods. We don't have those on the belt, so we're gonna have to do this. So this guy's gonna make iron rods. And then we're gonna have this guy here. So this guy will request 200 iron plates. Alright, there we go. So this guy will make iron rods, then we'll have this guy here. This guy needs copper plates and steel. So then we'll get that going. Okay. And then this guy is going to need brass and then tinned wire. Okay. So we're now getting a little more complicated because you need 10 wire here, which means we need wire here. So let's get these guys set up. So this guy will be copper wire. Alright, copper wire. There. And then this guy's going to be 10 wire, so this guy needs 10. Okay. There we go. And then that means that this guy just needs to add brass. Alright, there we go. And then we'll have tier 2 medium electric poles. Excellent. Okay. So that is one thing done. Now, I want to do the exact same thing here for substations. So let's look at that. Okay, so it's going to require the exact same thing here. So let's copy that guy. Actually, we'll do the other part first. So let's see. Okay, so we actually just need to go 1, and then we can paste this guy like that. So this is going to be substation 1. Okay, so here we're going to add advanced circuits, steel. Oh yeah, and those requester chests won't place, will they? Steel and then copper, I said. I think is what we need here. Yep. Okay, but this guy doesn't require tinned wire, does he? Oh yeah, he does. Okay, cool. So that's the exact same. And then here we just add circuits. So there we go. Now add this. Okay, and then this guy will go there. And boom, we have tier 2 substations. I keep clicking the wrong thing. But yeah. Okay, so we've done that. Next, I'm going to want to do rails, train stops, rail signal chains. So I'm going to get all 3 of these guys going. Let's see here. So we're already making iron rods here. I'm fine piggybacking these for these guys. So iron rail there. Okay, let's get this going. And this needs to be steel and stone. So let's get those set up. So here we have, let's see. Here we have steel. Okay, and we also want stone. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I actually set up my thing to filter out half stone, half rock. We should check this real fast over here. Yeah, no, it just filled up with stone. So we don't actually have brick going. Unfortunate. Okay, so I guess what that means is right here. We're going to change this to this. We're going to have this guy here. Okay, right output filter stone. Okay. And we go there, and then we go there. Okay, and then we can drop these guys like this. And boom. Okay, cool. Now we have stone and we have stone brick. That'll be good. Okay. There we go. So now this guy should be having everything. Good stuff. Let's get this guy going there. Okay, now this one also needed iron rods. Yes, that's right. It was this. Alright, so I have that going, and then let's get chest. Oh yeah, also one of the researches is this, so pretty much any inserting madness I want to do, I can do, which is really cool. It's going to make it so we can do some really, really wacky builds. Oh my gosh, my voice is not having it. Did not drink enough water today. But yeah, we can do some really wacky builds now if we so choose. Which, knowing me, I definitely will choose to do. Okay. We can get away with one for this, so let's just go like that. So both of these guys require the same thing, so let's go there. Let's get iron, and then let's get circuits. Okay, cool. And now there, there, there. Okay. So we've done that. Next thing, what are we doing next? I should be making train wagons automatically, but we haven't made engines yet. So we're gonna skip those. Let's see. These all require the same things. Yes, they do. Okay, so that means I'm going to make that guy and that guy. Those are the only real important ones for me right now. Okay, get rid of that. These guys actually need... Oh, green circuits. Okay, red circuits. Okay, and then steel. Okay, there we go. You can just take that iron. Doesn't matter. Okay. Cool. Now that we've done... what's going on with this guy? This guy hasn't made anything yet. So we need the red. Oh, I didn't put the inserter there. That might do it. It's like, oh, why is that guy not going? Okay. Let's see. I do need these guys, don't I? Well, I can probably just use my old base's production for that and be fine. So that's what I'm going to do, is just use my old base's production. Okay, now these, we're going to want to make all the way down to at least blue if we can. None of these require... Yeah, okay, so I know in base Factorio this requires lubricant, but these don't, which is nice. Honestly, contemplating making things that just make all of the different gears and bearings. Oh, see, the bearings require lubricant. That's what it is. Okay. So yeah, so tier 4 items will require lubricant, so I think we'll probably only automate up to tier 3. I don't think we'll need up to tier 4, so I'll probably only... Or, well, I guess this is tier 4. I'll probably only automate up to this, seeing as cobalt doesn't require it. So, in that case, let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or, well, 6. And then 1, 2, 3... Oh, no, so 1, 2. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then 8, 9. That's not bad. I think it's just worth it to do that then. So... maybe in their own island away from all the main production, I'll go over here and I'll just do that. So let's see, I said 5 for the gears. So this is for gears, so we have iron, steel, brass, cobalt, titanium. Okay. Actually, we should... Actually, no, it's fine how I was doing it. Okay, let's get these guys all powered. Okay, and then we want red down here. Okay. Also, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but I greatly expanded our power. Because I was anticipating that we were... you know, not going to meet our power demands. So, I've doubled up our power pretty much. Okay, steel. Okay, brass is here. Or, well, yeah, brass. Okay, and then this guy is cobalt. Cobalt, there we go. Okay, and then this guy is titanium. Okay, there we go. And because of how much these items are used, they are getting 3 sets of them. Alright, gonna already need to stock up on these. Uh-oh, why aren't these being made? Oh. Whoops, my bad. Forgot that they kind of needed to be that, huh? Okay, there we go. Okay, oh duh, these guys filled in themselves because of that. Makes sense. Okay, there we go, so that's good. Oh my gosh, the amount of bots we got flowing right now. It is a sight to behold, huh? Okay. So next, we want to do the same thing, but we want to do this with bearings. So for these bearings, You have to make the bearing and then make the thing itself. Yeah. So we can't do it for titanium, so we're just going to do steel and cobalt. So we're going to have one, and then, let's see, two. Well, we can get away with it like this. So realistically, this is going to be this guy here. Let's see. Inserter there, pick up from there. Okay, and then inserter there, pick up from there. Then this guy will be steel. Alright, and then another inserter here that drops there, picks up there. And then the same thing here, so we're going to drop there, pick up there. Okay, and then it's going to be drop there. What's wrong thing? So there. Okay, and then it's going to pick up right, so it's right there. Alright, cool. More research to be done. Really, most of this doesn't matter anymore, so we're just researching it to be completing it. Let's see, do any of these actually matter? That's the real question. No, none of these actually matter. So we're just researching them to research them at this point. Yeah. Okay, now we want to copy this thing as well, so we're going to do, let's see, 3 of these. Okay, and then we'll do another 3 here. But these guys are going to be cobalt. Okay, so we're going to change this guy to be cobalt. Okay, and then change these guys to be cobalts. And then change these guys to be cobalts. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now these guys are all making cobalt bearings. Cool, so that's all done. Alright, so those guys will be good now. So that means that when we're over here, we can request those things. I could probably do the same thing with wire, but I really should do the same thing with iron rods and then wires, huh? No, it's okay. Okay, so from there, let's see. New thing. But we just did these guys, those guys. I'm passing on all of that. Okay, yes, that's right. We're on to our transport stuff. First off, I am going to drop these guys in the middle for now. I always forget you can't just drag them and have them be fine on placement, which always sucked in my opinion. I thought that that was, you know, not really a great feature. It's just like there's so many other things that you can just drag, you know. Like you can drag pipes, you can drag power poles, just, you know, not robot ports. Okay, there we go. So now we should be almost fully encompassed, right? Yeah, almost fully encompassed. Cool. So I said this guy is going to be our belt here. So each of these guys is going to be comprised of... so actually, I should do a little planning here. So each of these is going to have... let's see. Requester above, requester below, because this goes into the yellow, right? So if we're trying to set this up in a way where they get passed on, but also stored, I think I would want it like this as our base layout. Okay, and then we would want to place in from there. So each of these guys will have that. Okay, and then we need to pass from the previous one to the next one. Okay, and then we need to pass in from there to the actual one. Yes. Okay, there we go. And there we go. So now, if I set this up with iron plates, okay, and then iron gears, this guy should be producing. Yes, and it should also be passing on to here. Cool, so this one has iron gears and then 10 plates. So we would go iron gear, and then we would have 10. Okay, there we go. So now this guy's producing too. Right? Yes, okay, cool. So now what we do is we copy paste these guys. So this would be red, and then that would be blue. Okay, let's get that guy placed. So now, oh, well, okay, yeah, these guys don't need to exist on here. This guy becomes red, and then this guy becomes blue. So, okay, so this guy requires steel gears and bronze plates. So we add that here. So we get bronze plates, and then we get steel gears in here. Okay, there we go. And that should be red done. Now blue needs aluminum, cobalt bearing, and cobalt gear. So let's get those going. So cobalt gear, cobalt bearing, and then aluminum. There we go. So now blue should be getting made here. Come on, tell me I did this right. Yeah, okay. So blue should be getting made. I clearly just don't have enough logi bots in the system. Which means that, I don't know if I showed this on camera, but I did set up a bit of a thing to try to add more bots to our system, but it must have, oh, I know exactly what's happened. I know exactly what's happened. Yeah, so I'll show you what I did down here and I'll explain exactly what went wrong. So essentially, this is full, yeah, of construction bots. So I tried to do both of them on the same one. That was my issue. So, I'm just going to continue this guy over and go like this. There we go. So now we've got logi bots coming in. And this will do it until we have 5,000 logi bots. So I have the same thing going for construction, so eventually we'll reach 5,000 of both bots, and I can just change that by doing the signal on the other one. But like I said, the hope is that the bottom base is like barely used for anything. So as of right now, my plan is to use it for making bots and then making modules, which I've yet to do down there. Okay, there we go. So we've done this thing, right? And next we're going to do the exact same thing, but just with undergrounds. So we're going to copy this whole deal, paste it there. And then we're going to change this recipe to that, okay? And then we're going to add stone here to this guy. And then this guy should start making those. Oh, I see, they require the belts too. So we go like that. And that guy should be getting going. Okay, and then this guy we change to be that. This guy we change to be that. And then this guy we change to be that. Okay, so that doesn't require anything for before. That doesn't. Okay, yeah, so now we should be good. So these guys should start producing once we get stone in here. Which we have. Oh, I see, I have an issue with these inserters. These inserters don't get pasted. So 1, 2, 3, okay, but now my problem is this is taking up the spot where I want to do the inserter for that. Okay, and then if I do power here, it doesn't reach. Dang it. Okay, can I reach this guy at all? Yes, I can. There we go. Let's say we can also just get a upgraded version of our power poles, I realized, but yeah. Okay, there we go. So now we have up to blue undergrounds. And now when we look at this for splitters, looks like it's the same thing, which is good. So we'll copy this original one, paste it there. Okay, these guys, oh, I see, an issue with what we're doing. Not much of one, but a issue. Okay, so then this guy gets turned into that. This guy into that, and then this guy into that. Okay, so now we need to add red circuits here. Green circuits here. Okay, and then basic circuits here. And this guy needs to get those. Oh, let's kind of do this. So right now my issue is this guy right here I don't want to have there, so let's go like this. Drop there, pick up there. Does that work? Yes, that works way more than I needed to. Does that work? Yes. Does that work? Yes. Okay, there we go. So now I can do a guy that does, let's see, drop there. Yes, okay. And pick up there. Yes, okay, perfect. So now this guy will get the belt from here. And then, oh, look at this. This is very convenient. You can just piggyback off of that. There we go. Okay. So now, we should be making these splitters. Let's see, yeah, our Logi bots are slowly but surely climbing. That's good to see. Okay. And yeah, we should slowly but surely be making these once our logistics requests all populate. But yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't know why I keep opening the Helm mod. It's force of habit, I guess. Next would then be inserters. However, I think for now I'm just going to rely on the bottom base's construction of that, as well as the bottom base's construction of pipes. I don't really have anything I want to add from those, so I'm kind of just keeping this area for things that I'm looking to expand on, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so next would be boilers, I guess. So, our goal is to get up to these tier 2 fluid burning boilers. Oh my gosh, words. Okay, so starting out with this guy, we need to make stone furnace and then iron pipe. Okay. So maybe I do need to make all the pipes. So let's go back over here. Let's look at all the different pipes that we need. I'm pretty sure we need, let's see, we need iron, copper, stone for sure, brass, bronze, and then, yeah, and then steel. So, also titanium. So we don't need tungsten, ceramic, or plastic, or nitinol, or copper tungsten right now. We just need the base ones. So, let's get all these guys set up. Okay, so we have these guys. Oh, well, we should also set up these. No, we don't need these. Let's see. Underground. The only one I think we use is for, is it liquefiers? Let's see. Yeah, liquefier 1 uses iron pipes, or iron to ground pipes. So maybe we just rely on that from the old base. So copper, iron, stone, bronze, steel, brass, titanium. So these are the ones that we want. Okay. Grab that, just go there. Okay. So yeah, I've kind of changed my scope mid-project here. I think our goal is not to completely supplant the old base. Our plan is just to do all of the new upgraded stuff here and try to do as much as we can, still utilizing the old one. Because it's a little silly now that I think about it to just be wasting all the production we have going there, right? Because we did put in a lot of time to make sure that we're at least producing stuff there. Clearly not as much as we're producing here, but still a considerable amount. Okay, and then titanium. Okay, there we go. Let's copy this guy. Go there. Copy this guy, go there. And we're just going to make sure we have 2 of these guys going each. Okay, and there we go. So now we'll have all of those guys going, that's good. Alright, now back to here. So, said I'm going to be fine on inserters, fine on pipes. Roboports. I should start making those. So let's look into what goes into making a roboport. So we need all of these different parts. So 3 parts per. Okay, so we'll probably go up until, oh, well, we don't have batteries being made. I'm not sure if I put those into a provider chest, so maybe we won't be making these just yet. We'll put those off until later. Okay, so going to here. Don't really care about repair backs. Yes, boilers, that's what we're doing. So this guy right here is going to be making a stone furnace. And we're not going to use these guys anymore, so I'm fine just making this a one-off thing here. And not putting it into a chest. Okay, so there we go. This guy then goes to boiler. Okay, and then in this boiler, to request in this boiler, we need iron pipes. Let's do that. Okay, and then next we need to make a boiler 2. Okay, which is going to be like this. Okay, and then this guy, boiler 2, needs steel pipe and steel plate. So let's get those in there. So steel pipe. Then here we go, steel plate. Alright, so now we have boiler 2. And now we need fluid burning boiler. Okay, which is just the same thing. Just requiring steel pipe, and that's it. Yeah. So steel pipe, there we go. Okay, so now we'll have fluid burning boilers, and we want to craft these up 1 tier, so we'll need invar and brass. So let's get that going here. So invar, and then it was brass pipe, right? I think. Yeah, brass pipe. Let's request that. And there we go. Now these guys we do actually care about, so let's get that going there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna grab more of these guys. Alright. So now we have done that guy. Oh my gosh, I keep opening that instead of my inventory. Okay. So next is now making steam engines. However, we really just want to go up to turbines, I think. So yeah. I think, what? This is 60 per second versus 30. So it's double the consumption per second. So it's just basically more space efficient. So I guess we'll start with that guy. Okay, so first things first, we need to go steam engine. Okay, steam engine 2. Steam engine 3, and then steam turbine 3. So there we go, we do that. Let's see. Where's the best example? It's probably just this guy for how we do our... Yeah, so if we do that, we can just do these guys like this. Okay. And then we only care about the end result here. We don't care about any of the intermediaries, so let's just put all that in. Okay, so there we go. This guy requires gear, plate, and pipe, all iron. Okay. Iron pipe, iron gear, and then iron plate. There we go. Okay, now this guy requires steel gear, steel bearing, steel pipe, steel plate. Okay. Steel plate, steel gear, steel bearing. Alright, and then lastly, steel pipe. There we go. So now that should be that guy. Now this guy needs brass, steel, brass, brass. Okay. So, brass, brass, steel, and then brass. Okay, there we go. So now that guy's done. So we should go here. Now we need cobalt, cobalt, aluminum, red circuit. Red circuit, cobalt, cobalt, and then aluminum. Okay, there we go. And then that should be this guy producing. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. So next thing we need after that would be making electric furnaces. Alright, and I do want to make both the normal and the filtering. So, yeah, so we'll make normal, and then we'll make filtering. Oh, whoops, that's the exact same thing. There we go, and then filtering. Okay. We're actually going to do this a little differently. We'll go like that. They'll have the same requester, but their own drop-off. There we go, there we go. Power that. They both need this. So this guy is the filtering one. So electric filtering furnace, electric furnace there. Alright. There we go. Now we need brick and steel. Alright. And steel... Oh, why did I click that? Steel, there we go. Okay, so now these guys will be producing. Okay. Next thing up, let's see. We're going to start making assembly machines. So instead of doing that here, that is going to get its own row. Let's see. And yeah, copy of these inserters. Okay, and then we have... Okay, there we go. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can't go up to there. So yeah, it's just up to there. Alright. And this is something that we are doing on the other one, but still, I always use inserter or assemblers, so may as well. Okay, let's work backwards. So advanced circuit, brass, steel, aluminum. Man, this requires like a little bit of everything, huh? Okay, aluminum, advanced circuit, brass, and then it's steel bearing, right? Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure. There we go. So now that should be that, okay? Now this guy requires advanced circuit, steel, steel. Okay. Advanced circuit, steel, and steel. There we go. So that should be that guy. Oh no, it's not that guy. Whoops. You requested bearings. We don't need those. Okay, there we go. Now this guy is green, iron, steel. Okay. Steel, green circuit, and iron gear. Okay, there we go. Now this guy is iron gear, iron plate, brown circuit. Iron gear, brown circuit, and then iron plate. Alright, there we go. That's all of our inserters done. Now, what are we on to? We're done with that. Nothing in here. Okay, nothing in here just yet. Eventually we're going to have to make these tier 4 labs. Ah, yes, okay. We'll have to make these artillery shells eventually and these explosive stuff eventually. However, for now, I think we're good on that. I don't think we need radars. Actually, it would be nice to have them, wouldn't it? You can come back to that. That seems like the right answer. Okay, cool. Now we're doing ore sorting facility. And we can go all the way up to purple on this one. So that's nice. So let's see. One, two, three. Wait, 3 and then 4. Okay. So this guy's going up to purple. Okay, brick, iron, and then circuit. So, brick, iron, iron, and then circuit. Yes, okay, cool. And then circuit, steel, brick, steel. Okay. Circuit, steel, brick, and then steel. Okay, that guy's done. Next is circuit, brass, aluminum, concrete. Okay. There we go. And there we go. And I think that's it. Yep, okay. Next is blue, titanium, reinforced titanium. Okay, blue, titanium, reinforced, and then titanium. That should be it, right? Yep. Okay, cool. Let's try to make spots for these guys. Alright, there we go. These guys should be making stuff soon. There are definitely need more Logi bots. Actually, I say that, but we have tons open, so I don't know. I guess it just takes a while for them to make it here. Probably. Oh, yeah, W's. A bunch are coming from... Oh! They're prioritizing our old storage. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Oh well. What's our power looking like? We're still doing fine. That's good. Okay, next thing is going to be crushers. Okay. So we start out with a furnace. There we go. This guy will get the stone in. Yep. Okay, so furnace and then crusher, 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 crusher. So 1, 2, okay, 3, and then 4. Alright, let's copy these inserter patterns. There we go. Okay, and now we do our clusters in all these spots. Alright. Okay, so we've done that. Now we need to pass these. Oh, I didn't add these, did I? Well, I shouldn't need to, because these guys have other ones that do it. Never mind. Okay. Okay, there we go. We've already made 10. That's a good start. Okay, and then stone, so let's just copy that there. Now this guy requires iron, brick, plate. Iron plate, brick, and then iron gears. Okay, there we go. So that should be that guy. Yep, now this guy requires steel plate, clay brick, steel plate. Okay, oh, well, steel gear is what I meant to say when I said steel plate. Whoops. You can tell I'm a little scatterbrained. I'm recording this a little late at night. Okay, brass, aluminum, and then concrete. Man, that was a voice break, huh? Ugh, man, okay. Brass, aluminum, and concrete. There we go. That should be that one. Okay, cool. There we go. Next thing up. Flotation cells. 1, 2, 3. Alright. I think we can go all the way up to tier 3 on this as well. In fact, I think we can do all of these guys at tier 3. That's what it looks like. Some of these won't have a choice, so. Alright. Might not be able to get through too many more of these guys before it is time for the end of the episode. But, like usual, I will probably just complete the rest between episodes, because once you've seen me make one mall, you kind of have seen it forever, right? It's not something that really changes a bunch. And what was the last thing? Clay brick, that's right. Okay, this guy is concrete. Okay, got it. So he is concrete, which is in this one. And then it is aluminum, I believe. Yep, okay, and then brass pipe and red circuits. There we go. So that guy's done. Now this guy is titanium pipe, titanium, reinforced concrete, blue. Blue circuits. Okay, there we go. I think that's it then, and then we can put these guys down here. And that is done. How are we holding up here? Oh, we are burning through iron and steel, huh? Ooh, and burning through cobalt. Well, not surprised. We are, you know, putting a lot of stress on this thing. Arguably the most stress it'll have in its entire lifespan, so. Oh, this isn't even considering... Are there any things that I need to be making in, like, chemical plants that I've skipped over? Well, I know explosives I haven't gotten to yet, but I will need to make those eventually. I mean, I guess batteries, but that's not something I was planning on automating here. Engines wasn't planning on automating here. Low density structures I don't need yet, so I haven't planned on automating. I'm not planning on automating beacons just yet. I think we're all good on stuff. I don't think I've passed anything up. Yeah, I don't think I have. Okay. So we're back to here, leaching plant, leaching plant 2. Okay, there we go. Now leaching plant requires this stuff. Okay, so it's the exact same stuff as this guy. Yep. Okay, and this guy requires the exact same stuff as this guy. Perfect. There we go. Alright, cool. Next thing up, that was a fast one, is ore refinery. Okay. This one's also a fast one. There we go, so we'll have that guy done. Okay, ore powderizers. I haven't had to use these yet, have I? No, I haven't. Okay. But actually, now that I look at it, we are nearing the end of the episode. So, I am probably going to call it there. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. This one's kind of just boring, and me showing the setup of the mall. Between the episodes, I should get most everything that we can onto the mall. So assume if I didn't add it to the mall, then it required things like, you know, batteries or titanium bearings, things like that, that require, you know, lubricants or, you know, acids or things like that. Things that pretty much aren't on the belt. So my plan is to automate everything that just requires stuff from the belt. So, or, you know, the pipes, gears, all that stuff. But if it requires like lubricants or gases to craft, then it's safe to assume I'm not going to craft it until all that stuff is gotten out. But looking through, it doesn't seem like there's much of anything that required those titanium bearings except for the stuff for the belts and the inserters. So it's a pretty good sign that I'm just going to have all this automated. Oh, also, I should note, I will be making the improved farms. So these farms are twice as good. So I am going to have these guys be automated to be producing these, which should be good. That's twice the speed on our farm. And yeah, I'll be probably automating these hatcheries, puffer refrigeriums, and biter refrigeriums, because this is what we're going to need for the higher tiers of modules. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.